In a galaxy far from Earth, many alien races fought for power and control. They clashed in endless wars, destroying planets and lives. Among them, humanity was just starting to make its mark. After years of exploring space, humans had finally built a fleet of powerful ships, ready to face any challenge. Captain Elena Carter, a brave and skilled leader, stood at the helm of the flagship, the Vanguard. She gazed out at the stars, feeling a mix of excitement and worry. One day, an urgent message arrived from a distant colony. The colony was peaceful, filled with families and farmers. But now, a dark threat loomed over it. An evil alien alliance known as the Draxons planned to attack and take control. Captain Carter felt a deep sense of responsibility. She knew that if the Draxons succeeded, it would lead to more suffering across the galaxy. She quickly gathered her crew in the ship's main briefing room. The room buzzed with energy as the crew members exchanged worried glances. They were a diverse group, humans from all walks of life, united by their duty to protect. Captain Carter stood tall at the front of the room, her dark hair framing her determined face. "Listen up, everyone!" she called, her voice steady and strong. "We have received intelligence about an imminent attack on the colony of Eldoria. The Draxons think they can bully us because we are new to this fight. But they are wrong!" The crew nodded, their eyes filled with determination. Captain Carter continued, "We will not let them harm innocent lives. We are going to assemble our fleet and stop the Draxons before they reach Eldoria. This is our chance to show the galaxy who we are!" As she spoke, the crew began to feel the fire of courage burning within them. They were not just fighting for a colony, they were fighting for the very idea of humanity in the galaxy. After the briefing, the crew rushed to prepare the ships. They moved swiftly, loading weapons and checking systems, their hearts beating with excitement and fear. Meanwhile, the Draxons, with their sleek, menacing ships, were closing in on Eldoria. They were a ruthless race, known for their cunning strategies and overwhelming force. Captain Eldor, the leader of the Draxon fleet, laughed as he viewed the monitors showing the small colony. "These humans think they can challenge us?" he sneered. "We will crush them and take their resources. They will learn to fear the Draxons!" Back on the Vanguard, Captain Carter and her crew worked tirelessly. She walked among her officers, checking their readiness. Lieutenant Samira, her trusted second-in-command, was focused on the ship's navigation systems. "We're ready to move, Captain. Just say the word," she said, her voice calm but eager. "Prepare for departure," Captain Carter replied, her heart racing with adrenaline. "We will not let the Draxons take Eldoria. It's time to show them what humanity can do." With everything in place, the fleet launched into the darkness of space. The stars twinkled above them, a beautiful sight contrasting the danger ahead. Captain Carter felt a sense of unity among her crew. They were all in this together, ready to face the unknown. As they approached Eldoria, the alarms blared, warning them of the approaching Draxon fleet. The crew's excitement turned to tension, but Captain Carter remained steady. "Stay focused, everyone. We know what we have to do." The scene outside was tense as the two fleets came closer. The Draxons outnumbered them, but humanity had something the aliens did not: determination. Captain Carter took a deep breath, knowing the fight ahead would test their strength and resolve. "This is our moment," she said softly, almost to herself. "We will protect Eldoria. We will fight for our place in the galaxy." With her heart set on victory, she prepared her crew for the battle to come. They were ready to show the universe that humanity was not to be underestimated. As the ships moved closer to the enemy, the tension crackled in the air, and the galaxy held its breath for what would come next. The hum of engines filled the air on the Vanguard as Captain Elena Carter and her crew prepared for battle. Tension hung heavy like a thick fog, but there was also a spark of excitement. Each crew member understood the stakes. They were not just defending a colony. They were proving humanity's strength in a galaxy full of threats. The crew nodded, their faces set with determination. They knew the plan and felt ready to fight. As the ships moved closer to the enemy, the reality of battle hit hard. Captain Carter took a deep breath, focusing on the task ahead. "Engage!" she ordered. The crew launched into action. Bright beams of energy shot from the Draxon ships, slicing through the darkness of space. Human ships zipped in and out, dodging the fire while returning shots of their own. Captain Carter felt the ship shudder as a blast hit nearby, but they held steady. "Return fire! Target their engines!" she commanded, her voice firm. The crew obeyed, unleashing a barrage of laser blasts. The bright lights danced in the dark, a deadly ballet of destruction. A Draxon ship exploded in a flash, debris scattering in all directions. Cheers erupted on the bridge, but Captain Carter kept her focus. "Stay sharp!" This is only the beginning. As the battle intensified, chaos erupted around them. Ships zipped past each other, lasers flying in every direction. Captain Carter's heart pounded in her chest as she watched her fleet engage with the enemy. "Captain, we've got a Draxon cruiser on our tail," shouted Leo, one of the pilots in Group 1. The alarms blared, a warning that danger was close. "Pull up! Turn right!" Captain Carter shouted. The pilot expertly maneuvered the ship, dodging a deadly blast. The Draxon cruiser fired again, but the Vanguard narrowly escaped. The crew cheered, their spirits lifting with each close call. Meanwhile, in the chaos, Lieutenant Samira was busy coordinating Group 2's movements. "We need to create distractions. Use flares and decoys," she ordered. The smaller ships of Group 2 launched flares into space, creating bright bursts of light that confused the Draxons. Captain Carter watched as the Draxon ships turned to chase the false targets. It was working. "Now's our chance. Group 1, focus on the cruisers." The human ships surged forward, attacking the distracted Draxons. The enemy was caught off guard, and the humans struck with everything they had. The crew fought bravely, inspired by the sight of their fellow ships working together. As the battle raged on, Captain Carter felt a surge of pride for her crew. They were holding their own against a much larger enemy. But just as she began to think they might win, a massive Draxon battleship appeared on the horizon, its guns primed and ready. "Captain! Incoming fire!" Samira yelled, her eyes wide with alarm. "Brace for impact!" Captain Carter shouted. The ship shook violently as the Draxon battleship unleashed a storm of energy blasts. Crew members were thrown against walls, and alarms blared throughout the ship. "Damage report!" Carter demanded, her heart racing. "Shields are down to 50%, Leo shouted. "We need to pull back." "No!" Captain Carter's voice was fierce. "We can't retreat now. We must press on. If we back down, we lose everything." The crew exchanged determined looks, and they rallied behind their captain. Together, they would face this challenge head-on. Captain Carter gripped the controls, ready to lead her crew into the heart of the battle. "Let's show them what humanity is made of," she declared. With renewed strength, the crew launched back into the fray, determined to fight for their future. The battle had only just begun, and they were ready to face whatever came next. The chaos of battle raged on around the Vanguard, but Captain Elena Carter felt a fire igniting within her. She knew her crew was brave and skilled, and they were beginning to push back against the overwhelming Draxon fleet. The bright beams of laser fire illuminated the dark void of space. But amidst the danger, there was a growing sense of hope. "Stay focused, everyone," Carter shouted, her voice cutting through the noise. "We can turn the tide! Target their command ship!" Lieutenant Samira quickly responded, "Copy that, Captain. I'll coordinate the attack." She worked with the other officers, organizing their strikes with precision. The command ship was the heart of the Draxon fleet, and if they could take it down, the rest of the enemy ships would be thrown into disarray. As the crew executed their orders, Captain Carter felt a rush of adrenaline. Each explosion she saw on the screen was a reminder of their strength and resolve. But the Draxon battleship loomed large ahead, and it would not go down easily. It unleashed a powerful wave of fire that struck the Vanguard hard. "Shields at 30%, Leo yelled from his station. "We can't take much more of this. Divert all power to the shields," Carter commanded. "We need to hold on a little longer. Listen up, everyone," Carter began, her voice strong but steady. "We have proven ourselves today. The Draxons thought they could push us around, but we stood our ground. Each of you played a vital role in our victory." The crew nodded, their faces filled with pride. The cheers from earlier had faded, replaced with a focus on their next steps. Carter continued, "But we cannot rest on our laurels. The galaxy is vast and many threats remain. We must be ready for whatever comes next." Lieutenant Samira stepped forward, her eyes bright. "Captain, I suggest we send a message to Earth. We should let them know about our success and prepare for any potential retaliation from the Draxons. They may come back stronger." Carter agreed. "Good idea, Samira. Let's make sure our home is informed and ready. We need to fortify our defenses and unite with our allies." The crew quickly moved into action. Communications officers worked to send messages back to Earth. detailing the battle and the need for increased readiness. As they worked, Carter felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were not just a ship. They were part of something larger, humanity's fight for survival in a galaxy that often underestimated them. While the crew sent messages, Captain Carter turned her attention to the tactical displays on the bridge. The Draxons might regroup and come back for revenge. I want to analyze our tactics in this battle. What worked and what could we improve? She ordered. As the crew began their analysis, a young ensign raised his hand. Captain, we noticed that the Draxon command ship was not as well protected as their other vessels. If we can take that out early in future battles, it could disrupt their operations. Excellent observation, Carter replied. We'll develop strategies to target enemy command ships in future encounters. Every detail counts, and we must learn from our experiences. Just then, an alarm rang through the bridge. Captain! Incoming message from Earth, the communications officer announced. Put it through, Carter said, her heart racing. A holographic image flickered to life, revealing a familiar face. Admiral Roberts, the leader of Earth's fleet. Captain Carter, congratulations on your victory. We received your message, and I assure you, we are mobilizing our forces. Thank you, Admiral, Carter replied, relieved to hear from him. We are preparing for any possible Draxon retaliation. It's crucial we strengthen our defenses. Agreed. We'll send additional ships to your location and reinforce our communication networks. We cannot allow the Draxons to gain any advantage, Roberts said firmly. As the message ended, Carter felt a sense of relief wash over her. Earth was taking the threat seriously, and they would be ready. All right, team, she said, looking around the bridge. Let's get to work. I want simulations set up for different attack scenarios. We'll drill on them every day until we know our tactics inside and out. The crew nodded, their spirits rekindled. They knew that their hard work would pay off. They had proven themselves in battle, and now they would prepare for the future. Days turned into weeks as the Vanguard and its crew trained tirelessly. They practiced maneuvers, developed new tactics, and learned from each drill. The atmosphere on the ship shifted. The crew had become a family, bonded by their experiences in battle. Captain Carter often found herself looking at the stars, wondering what challenges awaited them. The galaxy was unpredictable, filled with dangers and mysteries, but she was determined to protect her crew and her home. One evening, as she gazed at the stars, Samira joined her on the bridge. "What are you thinking, Captain?" she asked softly. "I'm thinking about how far we've come," Carter replied. "We fought against impossible odds and won, but this is just the beginning. We must stay vigilant and be ready for anything." Samira nodded, understanding the weight of Carter's words. "We're stronger now, and we'll face whatever comes together." As they stood in silence watching the stars, Captain Carter felt a renewed sense of hope. They had proven that humanity could stand tall against any threat. They were not just a small fleet. They were a force to be reckoned with. With the support of Earth and their newfound strength, they would continue to fight for their place in the galaxy. The Draxons may have underestimated them before, but they would never make that mistake again. "Let's keep our eyes on the horizon, Samira," Carter said with determination. "The path forward may be uncertain, but together we will face whatever challenges lie ahead." And with that, the crew of the Vanguard set their course into the unknown, ready to embrace the future with courage and unity.